Welcome back to Fanatics Forum, a sports podcast from the fans' perspective. It's your boy Mac and Mike, and this, I gotta say, is what happens when you underestimate the Cowboys. All I heard was that the Cowboys didn't have a chance. They were ranked 19 by some sports company, and people really thought Deshaun Watson would be a factor in this game. But before we get more into the topic, can you please like, comment, and share this video so I can keep giving you guys this Cowboys content? So, this game had all the pressure on the Cowboys, and most people predicted that the Cowboys would lose because a lot of these sports analysts had convinced people that the Cowboys had lost way too much talent. They didn't do enough for free agency, and they had two rookies starting on the O-line. And the biggest prediction they have every single year is that Dak isn't that guy. But guess what happens? The exact opposite of everything. The two rookies, Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe, held up against probably one of the best, if not the best, pass rusher in the league in Myles Garrett. All the free agency moves seem to be working just fine. And Dak, once again, proved that in big games, he can play. And yes, from an offensive standpoint, this game wasn't what you would call sexy. Dak wasn't throwing for multiple touchdowns, throwing 500 something yards. I don't care. I do not care about all that. And I see a lot of people making excuses and complaining about the second half. You can't be conservative like that. Or why did it seem like the offense cooled off? Who cares? A win is a win. And the point of the game is to win. Nobody goes back and says, man, I love how you lost that game. It doesn't make sense. They remember the winners, not the losers. And as long as Dallas keeps winning games, I don't care how ugly it is. So for me, my standout performer was DeMarvion Overshown. That guy is just a straight up baller. And he was able to make Micah Parsons look slow. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit concerned about how he was going to look coming back from that ACL tear last year. But could you blame me? Michael Gallup was never the same after his ACL tear. And he retired because of it. But Overshown looks even faster post-injury. This Zimmer defense had him flying around like it was nothing. And he knew where to go and got there so fast that it was scary. And I don't know if you saw it, but I know I saw it. There was one play that he looked like he shot out of a cannon to sack Deshaun Watson. And that was after he was running out of the pocket being chased by Micah. And I believe Overshown moved 14 yards in 2.8 seconds. That's crazy fast. And I'm so glad to have him back in good condition. Another guy that was a standout performer was Eric Kendricks. Cowboys Nation, I saw too many people give the Cowboys a lot of hate for this signing, as if they were getting some scrub. I know Kendricks shut so many people up in this game and showed people how important it is to have a middle linebacker that, one, understands the system, and two, is in full command of the defense. He looked masterful out there and had everyone flying around. Like I said, it was nothing. That's how he had everybody flying around in this Zimmer defense. He finished the game with 9 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 interception. That's what I call a baller. Another thing I loved watching was Kalen Carsons. This guy is a rookie, and he basically locked up Amari Cooper. He gave him fits, and it looks like he's going to be a problem for NFL wide receivers here on out. Yes, he gave up the 1 touchdown to Jerry Jeudy, but I think it's because he hesitated for a split second and didn't fire out like he usually does. But he'll learn from that mistake, and I expect him to get even better under Al Harris. And I'll say it once, and I'll say it again. Al Harris is the best DB coach in the NFL, hands down. And it's going to be hard to see him leave if Jerry doesn't eventually make him a defensive coordinator, because I know NFL teams are going to be inquiring like crazy to try to get him to their team as a DC, because he just knows how to get those DBs flying around. So Al Harris, man, my hat's off to you. You're a great coach. But I just want to pivot to the offense just real quick, because the only thing I didn't like was that I felt Zeke got too many carries. And I get it. He's your RB1. But Dallas needs to invest in getting the other guys more involved, especially Deuce, because I see the burst. And if given more carries and you're using more efficient run blocking schemes for a guy like Deuce, I think he can be very dynamic in this offense, and he will keep defenses on their toes. We destroyed one of the best defenses in the NFL, but I still feel offensively we could have played better. And I know it's just game 1, but we have so much that we can improve on. And I think offensively, Dallas has the potential to be scarier. But I have to give my flowers to Mike McCarthy and Zimmer. McCarthy called a really good game. He did enough to win against a really good defense. And I just need him to continue to be consistent and don't fall into the trap of being too predictable. And we should be fine. And what did I tell y'all? I told y'all Mike Zimmer is that dude. All that, Dan Quinn love, throw that out the window. Y'all didn't blame Dan Quinn for nothing. But you see this defense looks like it didn't even skip a beat. It looks even better. But when you look at the Commanders' defense, they look horrible. If Dan Quinn was so good, why, after they got all those acquisitions on defense, they look so bad? You got safeties playing linebacker. Look what happens when you do that. And this is the problem sometimes when y'all see the stats and don't realize the faults of certain coaches. If you watched the Cowboys last year, y'all saw the issues with Dan Quinn. Against good teams they couldn't win. Why was that? His scheme. His scheme was high risk, high reward. He was getting bailed out by his defensive players. Cowboys are good at drafting guys. That's what made Dan Quinn look good. The defense wasn't good in Atlanta. And the defense isn't going to be good with the Commanders. Only difference in Dallas was that they're better at drafting defensive players. But Dan Quinn, when the big games came, faltered. There's a reason for that. And the Dallas defense, it looks even better than it was under Dan Quinn, because I'm talking about just looks, but they're more efficient. And I just thought for me personally, I didn't think we were that good under Dan Quinn. Yes, we had the stats, we had all the turnovers, but we beat up on inferior teams. But the teams we needed to beat, we couldn't beat them because Dan Quinn's defense was too predictable. And what I love about Zimmer is that he brought the accountability that the Cowboys needed on defense. We finally got the right pieces that we need in order to make a postseason run. The defense looked lights out. Our upgraded linebacker core and actual D tackles makes a difference, and the defense looks scary. I can't stress to you how important coaching is and how it makes a big difference in the NFL. Dan Quinn had guys doing whatever and took the credit when things went good, and nobody blamed him when the Dallas defense fell apart, especially against the Packers, because he still somehow got a head coaching job after one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen from the Cowboys. But now people finally see how important an addition Mike Zimmer is to this Dallas defense. And I can't wait to see how this defense keeps performing throughout the year. And to all those Cowboys haters, this is what happens when you underestimate the Dallas Cowboys. And yes, Dak is a $60 million quarterback. So I know a lot of y'all are sick to y'all stomach, but guess what? Dak is here to stay, and in Dak we trust. So I just want to thank you guys for watching this episode of the Fanatics Forum Podcast. Football is officially back, and I'll keep blogging on the Cowboys games for the rest of the season. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm out.